All right, in today's video, I'll be exploring this topic of seasons in your leadership journey. I really think all of us go through different seasons, just like the 4 seasons outside here in North Carolina. It is March right now, and the wind is blowing, and you can tell the seasons are changing. So we'll talk about that and how that applies to your leadership journey here in just a moment. I'll also talk to you a little bit about my own experience and how I've seen a winter season in my own leadership journey. And wasn't that too long ago, so I'll talk to you about that in just a moment. Hopefully share some insights with you about that. Last but not least, I'll give you a few tips for what you can do during one of these seasons, one of these winter seasons in your leadership journey, in order to grow from that and to really prepare yourself for the next season. All right, so I firmly believe that your life, your leadership journey, your impact and influence that you have on other people, it can have seasons to it, just like the seasons that we experience in the weather and the climate. Don't know where you live, but most of us have at least a change of at least one season or maybe two during the course of the year. Here in North Carolina, the mid-Atlantic part of the United States, we're fortunate enough we get all 4 seasons. We get a spring, a summer, a fall, and a winter. Probably not winter like some people in the Northeast or upper Midwest are accustomed to, but we do get 4 seasons, and I kind of like that about living in North Carolina. Kind of the secret's out. A lot of people are moving here and experiencing the 4 seasons. But when I got to thinking about that, I thought, this really does apply to our lives as leaders. Some of the seasons that you go through, they're full of momentum and growth, and things are happening, and perhaps you're seeing the fruit of your labor. You're experiencing some great things because of the seeds that you've sown as a leader and your impact as a leader. There's other times when it doesn't seem like there's much happening at all. It may seem like there's lots of failures. It may seem like there's not a lot going on in your leadership and your impact. I know because I've been through that before, where it really felt like I was kind of stalled out as a leader. So my personal story is that there was a time where I had a great corporate job. I loved the job. There's a lot of aspects of it that I really liked. It was kind of in the sweet spot of my talents and my skills. In the midst of that, while I was having tons of success, I really just felt like there was something more. There was something that was missing in my life, and there was a different kind of impact that I needed to have with other people. And so in the midst of that, I felt kind of this calling on my life to really step out and to do something totally different. And so I did. I worked with my church to start an inner city ministry. It was kind of a restart of an old dying church. They called me to go there and serve as kind of a campus pastor. It was a great experience. I loved it. I had a great team. Had a lot of great leaders there that we developed, and really were able to make an impact in a place with a lot of at-risk youth and people that were just really struggling in life. And man, it was just a lot of fun. It was so rewarding, and a great 3 years of my life. But at the end of that, there was some leadership changes, and so I went back to the main campus to be a pastor. I don't know, I just never really felt like I found my place there or fit in, or maybe it was just a totally different kind of work than what I was doing before. But really in the midst of that, I just had failure after failure, and maybe other people looked at it and they didn't think it was a failure, but I had these hopes and dreams of what it could become and how I would apply my talents and skills. It just didn't seem to work out. It seemed like I was kind of stuck in one place for a long time, and it really didn't feel that effective as a leader. So as I was struggling through that, I came to realize that I was going through a period in which there was just not a lot of growth. It was definitely a winter season in my leadership journey. And in the midst of that, I really started being more reflective. I started to journal more. I started to really think about my purpose in life. I thought about the journey up to that point, and really started to say, what have I learned about myself? What am I learning right now about myself? Why is this not working? Why is it I'm such a place where I should be having an impact on people and having this sense of purpose, and yet I didn't? And I could find myself really withdrawing. I could find myself shutting down. In the midst of that, I realized that this was definitely a winter season for me in my life. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was just really preparing me for what was next. So think about this. The purpose in your winter as a leader, sometimes it's just rest and renewal. It's that time you just need to kind of step back and reevaluate perhaps recalibrate. That's what winter is good for. It's good for just kind of slowing down and taking that time to rest. I know that's tough for some of us ambitious leaders, for some of us who have these big dreams and goals of where we want to go in life, and it can be tough, but it's necessary. Sometimes it's just strengthening the foundations of what you've learned, who you are, your values, what you really want out of life. Maybe a time to strengthen some skill sets or to learn some new things. Winter can be a really good time for that as well. The other thing I've found is it's a good time to prune. It's a good time to cut away those habits, routines, mindsets, ways of thinking that you've had in the past that just don't work or haven't been working for you lately. It's a good time just to go through and to prune those out and to get ready for spring. It reminds me of the crepe myrtles in my backyard. There's a season kind of at the end of winter, right before spring, where I go out and trim and prune and get them ready for the next season. And winter's good for that. No matter how long the winter is, just remember spring is coming. That's the good news. Winter doesn't last forever. There's going to be that time where the energy starts to come back, things start to sprout, things start to bloom, and things start to change. And I've found that so often the spring that I experience after the winter is directly related to what kind of preparation I've done in the winter season to prepare for the spring season. What kind of seeds have I sown? What kind of work have I done in the soil? What kind of work underneath the surface have I done to prepare for spring? And when I've done that, and when I've redefined my purpose, when I've really sought to clarify my values and my vision for the future, that spring is so much more exciting and so much more productive. If you're in a winter season right now, what do you do? What do you do to move forward? You can't really force the seasons. As much as we want to sometimes, we can't force those. We have to wait until we're ready, until the time is right. But maybe if you're in a winter season or just coming out of a winter season in your leadership, number one, just reevaluate your vision. You know, what's working, what's not working, what needs to shift? Are there new elements to your vision that need to be considered? Are there old elements that you need to get rid of? Now's a good time to reevaluate that. Invest in relationships, the people around you, those who can teach you. Maybe it's the time to find new mentors or to learn something new, read some new books, find a new podcast, building up some trust in some old relationships or renewing old relationships. Sometimes the other people around us, they're in different seasons, and so we can learn from them, or we can draw energy from them, or perhaps even just share with them our own experience. And then last but not least, just trust the process. Sometimes there's work that needs to happen inside of us before we can go to work to help someone else. Don't rush by these opportunities to learn something for yourself. I know the winter seasons that I have been through in my life, I have learned a lot about myself. And they have been times that, although I may not look back and have enjoyed those seasons, I've enjoyed what has come on the other side of those. So for instance, this last winter season that I went through, that was, the end of it was about 5 or 6 years ago, I guess now. And that was really the start of this business. And it was the start of a brand new phase of my life and some really incredible new things that have happened coming out of that winter. While it was tough and while it may have been long, I can say that I'm thankful for it. So what about you? What season are you in right now? Winter, spring? Maybe just drop a comment down below and just let me know what season are you in right now and what are you experiencing. And then check out the latest blog post on our website, d4concepts.com. If you just go to the articles section, there's an article there you can read through and perhaps get some insights from that or share it with someone else as well. And just leave us a like and subscribe to this channel to get more insights just like these as we publish more of these in the future. And hey, we just want to be an encouragement to you, and perhaps you can be an encouragement to somebody else by sharing this with them and helping them through their season of winter. Let's go lead the climb.